Good morning, Bucknutters, and welcome into the Bucknuts Morning 5 on Monday, March 16th, 2015. I am Dave Biddle. Ohio State was relegated to a number 10 seed in the West region of the NCAA Tournament yesterday, and the Buckeyes will play 7th-seeded VCU on Thursday at 4:40 p.m. in Portland. The game will be televised by TNT. Now, entering the selection show, I didn't expect Ohio State to get such a poor seed. I was thinking something more like a number 8 seed. But when you analyze the Buckeyes' resume, the 10 seed makes a lot of sense. Ohio State only had one quality win all season, that being at home against Maryland, and the Buckeyes played an extremely soft non-conference schedule where they only played 2 legit teams, Louisville and North Carolina, and they lost to both of them. So getting a 10 seed makes a lot of sense, and frankly, the Buckeyes are fortunate they're even in the tournament with this weak resume. As for the matchup with VCU, Ohio State is actually favored by 2.5 points. VCU is coached by Shaka Smart, who is one of the young stars in the coaching profession, and the Rams play an aggressive, up-tempo style of basketball. It should be an entertaining game, and I found it interesting that the Buckeyes are favored to win, despite being the lower seed. If the Buckeyes are able to get past VCU, they will likely have to play second-seeded Arizona on Saturday in Portland. I think Arizona is one of the 3 best teams in the nation, and I have Arizona beating Wisconsin to win the West region and go to the Final Four. So, needless to say, I don't give Ohio State much chance against Arizona, if they do actually play. Yes, the Buckeyes beat the Wildcats 2 years ago in the NCAA Tournament on the West Coast, that being a Sweet 16 game in LA. But that Ohio State team was much better than this one. Likewise, this Arizona team is much better than the one they had 2 years ago. So hopefully it's a matchup we actually get to see, because just beating VCU will be difficult. But I think Arizona will handle the Buckeyes with relative ease if they do play. This Ohio State team has been the biggest disappointment of any Buckeye squad in recent memory based on preseason expectations. Keep in mind, the Buckeyes were picked to finish 2nd in the Big Ten. They only finished 6th. And they were ranked in the top 10 nationally when the season began. And it's not like they had a rash of injuries that could excuse such a disappointing season. No, they just underachieved. The good news is they have one more chance to go out on a relatively high note. But there is no question this has been the most underachieving team of Thad Matta's 11-year tenure at Ohio State. Getting back to the NCAA Tournament for a moment, I have a question for the listeners out there. If you had to bet your car, are you taking Kentucky or the field to win the national championship? Now, usually I would take the field in situations like these, but in this case, I'm taking Kentucky. It won't be completely shocking if the Wildcats lose at some point in the tournament, but I'm still going to take them over the field. Can Kentucky be the first team since Indiana in 1976 to finish the season undefeated? It would mean a 40-0 record for the Wildcats, and I think they're going to get it done. But if they don't, I certainly will not be shedding a tear because I'm no John Calipari fan. I think he's as shady as they come. So, since I'm not actually betting my car, I'll be fine with the situation if someone rises up and beats Kentucky. Shifting gears to football, there is no spring practice this week because Ohio State is on spring break. The Buckeyes will resume practicing next Tuesday, March 24th. For those wondering why Urban Meyer would want to have just 2 practices and then take a week off and then come back with the other 13 practices, there is a method to his madness as usual. While teams only get 15 practices in spring ball, the coaches still get 20 hours per week to work with the team. So about 6 hours last week was dedicated to practicing on the field, and the other 14 hours were dedicated to film study and meetings. That's a lot of hours for film study and meetings. Coach Meyer said that schedule really allows his players to soak up a lot of knowledge during the first week. Then even after taking that week off for spring break, they're locked and loaded for the remaining 13 practices of spring, including the spring game on April 18th at Ohio Stadium. By the way, tickets for the spring game are just $5, and Ohio State is hoping to break their own spring game record this year for attendance. The record's right around 95,000. Can they pack 100,000 in the horseshoe for the spring game? You can help out, Buckeye Nation. Anyway, it's a creative schedule that Meyer has generated for spring ball, and we'll be back covering spring ball next Tuesday. On the recruiting front, the dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurlick, already has his wildly popular What I Am Hearing column on the site for subscribers. It includes an interesting item on 2016 quarterback recruit Tristan Wallace from DeSoto, Texas, the same high school as current Buckeye Dontre Wilson. The Buckeyes have offered Wallace a scholarship, and his top 5 schools right now are Baylor, Ohio State, TCU, Texas, and Texas Tech, with TCU holding a slight edge. The Buckeyes' first choice at the quarterback position is Jarek Guarantano, but Wallace is anything but a traditional fallback option. Wallace is ranked as the number 3 dual-threat quarterback and the number 35 overall prospect in the nation, according to the 24/7 Sports Composite. By comparison, Guarantano is the number 6 pro-style quarterback in the land and the number 107 overall recruit. So if the Buckeyes get either Wallace or Guarantano, they'll be in good shape in my book. And yes, Dwayne Haskins is still in the mix for Ohio State when it comes to 2016 quarterback recruiting as well. Bill has 4 additional items on recruiting in his What I Am Hearing column, so make sure you check that out if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, try our buy 1 month, get 2 months free deal. That's 3 months of Bucknuts for just $9.95. Thank you for listening to the show. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Take it away, best damn band in the land.